This is a 2015 Jeep Patriot with a 2.4-liter engine, and this car is very similar to a Jeep Compass. They share essentially the same drivetrain. You can see here on the shop floor a coolant leak, and where the coolant is coming from is this plastic piece on the side of the engine that's called the thermostat housing. Now this piece is made out of plastic, is pushed up against the hot metal aluminum head, and guess what? The plastic deforms, it ends up leaking. So to get to that housing, I had to first remove the cover of the airbox, and it has the ECM, engine control module or power control module, attached to it. Just remove it altogether. Do not attempt to disconnect the PCM. In fact, they have a little tag here that says no, do not disconnect it, just remove it with the cover. So flip it out of the way, and then the bottom of the airbox just pops out. It has these plastic anchor points in the bottom that you just pull firmly and they release, and that's how we got down here to the thermostat housing. This is what the new housing looks like. You can see by looking at it, it just has 3 attachment bolts, and so they should not be too difficult to remove. But first, of course, you have to disconnect all the hoses. There's 2 heater hoses, and there's 2 coolant hoses that come out of this housing. It's helpful to put a plastic tub or catch pan under the car when you do this job, and coolant is sure to drip out. If you have any pets, like little cats or anything, just keep them away from all this. With the new coolant standards, they have a bitter agent in them that the animals will just not want to drink. But it's better to be safe rather than sorry. When you go to remove these hose clamps, like this one right here, it helps to spray a little bit of WD-40 onto the hose, and this makes the clamp slip off. Otherwise it'll be very difficult. I've disconnected the coolant hoses, radiator hoses here and down here. So these are the 2 nipples here and here, and I've disconnected both heater hoses. They are here and here. And now I have a little temperature sensor that is right up here on top. I'm going to disconnect it, and I'm going to leave the sensor in the housing for now. Remove it with the housing, just disconnect it. And then I just have those 3 bolts that we looked at on the new housing. With the 3 bolts removed, this pulls right off. With this housing out of the car, we can see what's happened here. And it's not clear whether the housing body cracked first and then that led to the gasket failing. Whether the gasket failed first, we'll never know. But anyway, these plastic thermostat housings and water outlets, they're used by a lot of manufacturers on a lot of cars, like Mazda and Ford cars. And I always call them a ticking time bomb, because sooner or later, this exact same type of failure is going to happen. It always happens on every vehicle that we've ever seen. And you can lose the entire content of the coolant system within just a minute or 2, and then you have a blown head gasket. So these do not develop as a slow progressive leak that you can detect by monitoring your coolant level. These just happen catastrophically, and within a minute or 2 you're in the overheat zone. Now we take a close look where the housing was seated. There's a O-ring around this tube. This came in the kit that we purchased, so we can replace this O-ring right here. And you can look at the orientation of the thermostat, which way it's oriented. The kit came with a new thermostat that we will install in this position. So this temperature sensor has to be transferred over from the old thermostat housing to the new thermostat housing, and this design is too clever by half. It has a little locking tooth that engages here and keeps it from turning out of place. It also has two tabs on the bottom that you line up with these tabs to insert it, and then you turn it clockwise to get it to lock. And note that this has a O-ring right here, and a replacement O-ring came with the kit, so replace the O-ring before reinstalling it. I've got the water outlet bolted in, and I got the hoses all connected. Now before I put the air box back in, I'm going to fill up the system, and I use this filler funnel system. I find it very convenient for filling these coolant systems. And I'm going to fill it and then pressure test it. I'll show you that in a minute to check for any leaks before I complete the reassembly of everything. This just bubbles down. I keep adding. I've poured in one complete bottle of this orange coolant mix and it's gotten to where it stopped bubbling. Now for the leak test, the pressure test, I use this pressure tester. It's a pump that seals on the water neck, and I can pressure it up, and if there are any leaks, the coolant is going to flow down onto the floor. We finished pressure testing, found no leaks, put everything back together. Now we're running this engine at idle. There are no leaks coming out, and we're just going to let it idle and warm up for a while. While we're idling, we're going to keep a close eye on the temperature gauge. Let the engine idle until the needle hit the middle of the temperature gauge. Now I'm revving up the engine at 2000 RPM and holding it. This is kind of a stress test to see if the needle will move higher than the middle of the gauge. But it's just staying there. So this looks good. And next we're going to take the car for a test drive. Unless there's anything else to report, this will be the end of this video. So thank you for watching.